Shorty, she support bride, lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side, ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wheel. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Down, 180.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Tight end right, tight end right. We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Now a play fake. Carr. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
What now?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Strong right. You got 3.
White Monday.
Set.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Safarian Jenkins has it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, Couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Michel. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times did we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Hey, Charlie! I'm about to take you to school. 31. Here we go.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. On the ground, this is Michel. Oh, able to avoid him. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
I got you, boy.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GM. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From the 22, Carr. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This one from 35. Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Ready? 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run with Drake. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Jackson steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the... It's caught inside the 25.
Let's go, fellas.
We're scoreless after 1. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to go down. 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. Big stop. Big stop.
To throw is Jackson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
To throw on 2nd and 6, Carr. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
On 1st down, Drake. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Drake. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Here's Jackson to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half.
We got 4. We got 4.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. On third and short, Drake. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he'll only get a yard to bring up third and 1. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's a run with Ballage. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kalen Ballage in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. We don't see too many scoreless halves in football, not in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really gotten out of the starting blocks yet. But that is definitely an important score right there. And who knows? The way their defenses play, that touchdown might even hold up until the end.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. On second down now. It's Drake. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down.
And it's third down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He finds Beckham complete. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Right back to Dre. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Jackson on first by OBJ. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Throwing is Jackson. He finds his target, Beckham. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Jackson will throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Drake, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now Carr looking downfield, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique, and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Drake. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Watch the pass.
Now it's Jackson. It's caught. Beckham. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Beckham. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Going up top. He's got it at the 15. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Again, it's Ballage. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Sanders is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Carr. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. On first down, Drake brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They stay on the ground with Drake. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins.